This is a handwriting warm-up video. We're going to practice and make perfect one letter today. Make sure you have something to write on, like a piece of paper, a scrapbook, or maybe a mini whiteboard, and something to write with, like a pen, a pencil, a crayon. Pause the video and go and find those things now. Now that you've got your things ready, you can make sure your hands are ready. Put your pointer fingers up like this and bend them and straighten them a couple of times. Now link them together and push them away from you. Stretch your fingers a little bit. See if you can make a wave like this too. Oh, and the other way. All right, I think we're ready now. Today when we're doing our handwriting, we want to write with our page landscape. So not this way, not portrait, because we'll run out of space really quickly. We want to do it landscape, and then we'll have lots of space to write across the page. The first thing we need to do is draw the margin down the left-hand side. So that's kind of like the tree trunk. Like that. Then we're going to draw 3 lines or 3 branches coming from our tree trunk. So the way I get them to all be kind of equally spaced is I start with the one in the middle. So if you do the one through the middle first, then you look at these 2 spaces and you try and go in the middle again. So the middle of that space and the middle of that space. Then up in the corner, the top right hand corner, I'd like you to draw a little sun. It doesn't have to be big, but it just helps us to know which way our letters are facing. Last thing we need to do to set up our page is to draw our butterfly eggs. We draw our butterfly eggs right by the margin or the tree trunk, sitting on the branches, because this is where the butterfly, in case of the caterpillar, the story, thinks that the eggs are going to be safest and not fall out of the tree. Pause the video so you have time to set up your page like this. I'm going to show you some pictures and listen carefully to the first sound to see if you can work out which letter we're going to practice today. Kettle, key, kite, kangaroo, karate, ketchup, king. What sound do you hear at the beginning of all of those words? It's the letter K, the k sound. So here we have our capital K that's made up of just straight lines. Then the lowercase k, which we're going to practice today, has a curly twirly vine on it. And see how it's got the tall stick, but this part of the shape is smaller. That's the one we're going to be practicing today. To make the letter K, the first shape we need to practice is our tall stick shape. So starting right by our butterfly egg, we're going to start at the top of the space. So almost on the line above. Tall sticks always start from the top. We're going to go from the top all the way down and stop on the line, like that. Don't forget your finger space in between your letters. Tall stick, tall stick, tall stick, tall stick. Try and get them really straight so they're not falling over on top of each other. Tall stick, tall stick, tall stick. The next shape that we need to practice is like the twirly vine in the story Case of the Caterpillar. So we need to imagine that we've got our dotted line, our imaginary dotted line, halfway between our 2 lines. And this part of the shape happens all below that dotted line, so in the bottom half of the line. So we start a little bit below it, then the first part is a curved part like a loop, and then there's a straight part that goes down to the line below. This one's a bit tricky. There's no other shape really in the alphabet quite like this one. So we start below the dotted line, curved part, and then the straight part, twirly vine. You have a go at practicing this shape. Make sure you get them all below the dotted line. One part is curved and one part is straight. Okay, now it's time to join those two shapes together. Get your pen pointer ready. So we've got our tall stick, then we take our pen off to the middle of the line, and then we do our twirly vine. Try again. Tall stick, twirly vine. One more time. Tall stick, twirly vine. Okay, let's try. Starting at the top with our tall stick. Tall stick. You take your pen off. You imagine where that dotted line is, and you go a little bit below it. Then you do your twirly vine and the straight part down to the line that you're sitting on. See how the twirly vine and the tall stick touch together? That's really important to show that they're part of the same letter. Finger space. Tall stick, twirly vine. Now something that can sometimes happen with this shape is if we do the twirly vine part too big, it can look like a capital R, and that will not make sense when we're writing if we're trying to write a K and we actually write an R. So be really careful that that twirly vine part is nice and small and in the lower part of the line. Tall stick, twirly vine. Tall stick, twirly vine. Tall stick, twirly vine. Tall stick, twirly vine. Alright, now we need to choose our best shape on each line. We need to remember what we're looking for in a tall stick. It needs to start at the top, stop on the line, and be nice and straight. That one there is pretty good. Now with our twirly vine, we need to make sure it's underneath that imaginary dotted halfway line. It needs to have one curved shape and one straight shape. And needs to touch the line at the bottom. That one's really good too. Check that your twirly vine shapes, are facing towards the sun. Then we need to join those shapes together. So we need a nice tall stick and a twirly whirly vine. I like that one. Now we're going to write a sentence with lots of letter K's in it. You need to dazzle your whiteboard so that you have space, or turn to the next page in your book so that you have space for a whole sentence. Get ready and do that now. I'm going to say the sentence 2 times, then you can have a chance to write the sentence down. Are you ready? The sentence is, Kiwi the kid has the kit. Kiwi the kid has the kit. Let's read the sentence together. Kiwi the kid has the kit. First thing we need to do is check that we have written a super sentence. So we need capital letter, full stop, finger spaces. Have a look at yours and check that you've got a capital K at the beginning of your sentence. Check that you've got a full stop at the end. And then have a careful look at your finger spaces. Make sure they're the right size and that they are between every word. If you've got a super sentence, well done. Now let's have a look carefully at our K's. So we've got our capital K. Then the other K's we've got are that one, in kid, and that one, in kit. Have a look at mine and have a look at yours. Make sure they're both facing that imaginary sun up in the corner of your page. Awesome work today with your handwriting. See you in the next handwriting warm-up video. Bye!